Hello and welcome. This is your GM in the Great Barrier, broadcasting from the center of your entertainment galaxy. We are back after a bit of a hiatus from the break, I will say, for those that aren't following the Aegis game and didn't see the Q&A, which had come up recently. I had let everyone know I've just been dealing with some rough health issues. Sadly, I greeted the new year with COVID, and since then, second and third order effects have been felt, so that was an issue. But we're slowly getting back to regular videos. You should hopefully be seeing these, and for those that follow live in the streams on Twitch, we should be going back to a more regular schedule. That being said, for this first one out, I feel confident enough to say that we will have one more basically off week. This Saturday the 27th from when we are recording. We will not be holding an Aegis stream that weekend. We'll be coming back on February 3rd for the Season 2 premiere. And then we may or may not be coming back next week on the 30th. I just need to work out some scheduling concerns, and we and the players will talk about that. More will be up on social media, so we will help keep track of that as best we can. These streams, they're at least on a trial run to move to Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so feel free to join us if you can. A couple other things to note as we start. Another somber note. A member of the Trek community that we can note is lost. Gary Graham, the actor who played Zeth'lor among many other roles in Star Trek, had passed away recently, just today.
He was also, in case you didn't know and you're too young to remember the TV show of Alien Nation, he played the police officer that was originally played by James Caan in the movie of the same name.
He brought quite a few characters to life, and he made even his Vulcan vibrant, so to them we say a farewell, rest in peace. I would be remiss if I didn't note, as we're coming back, of course, we have our usual cast. Captain Tabak of the House Core, played by Sean. The ship's engineer, Raldar, as played by Caligo, who streams from time to time. Anything going on over on your channel right now?
I'm getting some artwork, and I'm basically going to be doing a rebrand soon, so.
Copy that. Well, check them out there. Let's see, that would be Caligo the Blue. So feel free to check them out on Twitch and whenever they come back. We also have the good Dr. Kresic, our ship's resident Gorn surgeon, as played by Rev. Our ship's Kzinti weapons officer, who has recently been catnapped, as played by Ray.
Catnapped, I get it.
Yeah. And then Azek, Mr. Azek Korg, is played by Joe of the Overland Gamer podcast, who also streams here on Twitch from time to time. I have dropped in on a couple of those, and I know there's been some games of Everspace lately, some Fallout before that. How's it all going, Joe?
It's going pretty good. Just kind of taking a break right now, trying to reassess all the life changes that happened recently. So we're going to trek forward and keep playing probably mostly Everspace for now, just because it's a simple game and it's pretty fun. If you don't know, it's based out of Germany, is where Rockfish is from. It's a kind of an action space shooter, so it's pretty fun.
Copy that. And of course, our ship's cook, Traven Lex, as played by Cheesy here. How you doing?
Ready to cook.
All
Haven't
right.
done a lot lately.
Then let's get cooking and get into the plot. So, when last we left off, the Yan had arrived on the planet of Zeth'lor, a colony world of the Klingon Empire, an outpost right on the fringes of the Orion borderlands, and the trip has gone poorly, to say the least. Although you were able to turn in what you needed to verify that you've completed the jobs of the first season and earned yourself a bit of wealth. You'd been able to get enough to resupply the ship, do a minor bit of searching for amenities. Things very quickly turned hostile as you came under attack by various different groups, be they Creel, Klingon, or Kazunti. As a result of these encounters, you have lost some crew for a time. Woe, the armory officer, has been abducted by somebody from her former crew by the name of Keg. Tabak initially seemed to have an uncertain fate. It seems he too was abducted, and his bodyguard Dekoth killed in the streets. The rest of you were able to make it back towards the spaceport to where a transporter beam was possible, and the crew was able to escape with their lives, at least to the ship. You had not been able to take off, unfortunately, as Tabak had left security interlocks suspecting that he would be betrayed by whatever crew of miscreants he accrued. In addition to all the consternation it caused you, it kept the ship firmly on the ground for a time, and you fruitlessly worked to figure it out. You did at least discern, by Azek's intuition, that the person who sold you out here, that revealed to all these people that were tracking you, was the Noskin Bahan. He has subsequently died after interrogation by the doctor, and it seemed as though you were going to be locked in a potentially dangerous situation. That is, until the captain, who had been held under uncertain circumstances, made essentially a promise to a Klingon woman who seemed to be a fellow Koha. Though initially she seemed to be a fellow prisoner, she let on that she was some sort of agent, apparently involved with the House of Mokai, and that in exchange for Tabak's freedom, that they might be able to work out some arrangement of service or duty. Upon agreeing and giving his word, Tabak has been beamed back outside the ship and has come back aboard, much to the surprise of Zional and Traven, who were coming out, I think, to look for him even, or at least find another ship, something. The details get a little hazy. Let us go back then to the bridge, where Tabak, you have found Azek and Vopri busy working the sensor task. Croker is also there. Cheshire is out of her crate and in the usual place in the captain's chair.
Yep.
I don't recall if Raldar has been informed as of yet, though by this time, I do notice, Raldar, that the ship systems are functioning again.
Yeah, all I had to do was get back on board the ship and push a couple of buttons to turn off the safety measures, to unbrick the ship.
I like to imagine it was a very large, very obviously labeled button to unbrick the ship.
Well, I also had to be here. Biometric scans, don't you know?
I feel like we could have done that with some dead skin.
Did someone find the captain's severed head?
No, Raldar, I turned the ship back on.
I see. All right, come on down when you want your head severed.
Where is Woe?
Gone.
Gone?
It's Captain, the small, sinewy Rantal that Vopri is, one of the Jegpui. He turns from his chair, and it's a moment of adjustment for him, as he had just started getting used to calling Azek Captain, something obviously Tabak you are not present for, but he slides back in his, with relatively little effort. I can say that we have been unsuccessful locating Woe, although, if I may be so bold, this explanation might be better to happen away from the colony, as we have come under attack from multiple people while our crew were out there. Just my thinking. Vopri shrinks down.
It's a good thought, Vopri. Contact Dock Master. Get his clearance to take off.
Yes, Captain. And he will turn and set to work. As you start moving through the bridge, Captain, you see Azek standing by his side. Azek, I imagine that you are upright, still with the composure of the officer that has kept this crew together through the recent crisis.
Indeed, I am awaiting orders from Captain Tavok.
Once we get clearance, get us into orbit at least. Figure out where to go from there. Were any of the supplies that we were after gotten? He's asking in general.
GM, did I get the food and alcohol?
Yes. Before the kerfuffle occurred, I'm going to say that you were able to work out contacts with where and when to beam out supplies, and now that the ship is back online, one of the signals that Vopri is working out, he turns to us. I have a message from some vendors. Apparently we have cargo that is ready to be transported. The signal is strong enough I can get through localized interference.
That would be our food, Captain.
Good. We're being jammed, Vopri?
There were some difficulties attempting to properly beam people out of the area, but it seems most of the active measures have been diminished. It seems as though most of the interested parties may have judged themselves sufficiently successful. That, and I imagine the local garrison is probably responding at this point. Can't have the port blocked for too long.
Good. Get the supplies. Get the supplies. Get us clearance to take off. Take off. Get us into a high orbit. And then I will call everyone to the mess hall.
Vopri will simply nod and turn to his work, yelling the dockmaster. I will say, just because he's in the room, or at least on the visual there, Croker is present if you think that he would have anything to say in this moment, Ray. Or Betty, for that matter.
Sorry, I forgot he was there.
That's okay. He can just
imagine he was stuck in like a slow beach run this whole time towards the captain. Just glitching mentally. Just real slow. And then he's all of a sudden...
I will be in my quarters. And I leave the bridge.
Son of a bitch. I want to roll to crushingly embrace this.
Go for it.
I will say, let's call this fitness
Where is
plus...
he?
Tabok will not duck.
Listen, you can't be
Oh
witness.
no, he's got to do something else though.
Let's call this a fitness plus command, because you're trying to regain your faculties.
I have a focus. I forgot about.
Which focus is that?
Seduction.
All right. I will allow for that focus. I am, however, because you've set up this narrative hurdle, I'm declaring the difficulty to be 4.
Okay, that is just excessive. It's excessive, and I'm mad.
And Tabok gets to use his focus in Mechleths, right? Right, Tabok?
This sucks.
Right, Tabok?
Maybe.
Can it just be like a pathetic hug if it can't be a full-on crushing grapple?
Again, Tabok is not going to attempt to get out of the way. He's a little bit distracted.
Well, with only half of the successes, I think that you at least took the steps necessary to get to where he was, but he is already out the door, and I'd say where you make it. Tabok is about here by the time that you make it up to the support pillar, and the door closes. One of your hands catches on the pillar, and the other just vainly reaches out to the captain, to the object of Croker's affections.
All I can imagine is, babe! Babe! No, babe!
It's a quieter, more defeated, babe! No!
Oh, no.
Poor Croker. Meanwhile, Zionola's...
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Zynel's right there, though. Can I spot Zynel?
Zynel is just picking his teeth, watching this all go down, picking his teeth with one of his knives.
It's not one of the poison-tipped ones, is it?
No, no.
I didn't even
Okay.
know he had. That's so hot. Okay, so Crooker looks to Zynel, and okay, I don't know if I want. I guess I'm just gonna play him stupid. You found him, and so swiftly, and he throws another bag of money at Zynel.
Zynel catches it with the tip of his knife.
Ah!
He looks at it and says,
I helped.
well, I don't think I really did anything. But, well, kindness is its own reward. For you, that is. And he pockets the money.
Of course he does. Of course he does. Crooker walks over and clutches Zynel's face in his hand. You beautiful bastard, I could kiss you. But I shall reserve it for my sweetheart. And he, like, pushes Zynel's face away and walks off.
As he walks off, Zynel just looks over at Draven. They're so easy to control.
Hey man, half of that's mine.
Sure.
We both found the captain. Don't point that out.
Sure.
You found the captain by walking off the ship.
But we found you, didn't we?
All right, I will grant you that.
I mean, I could give you the money. Or I could help you invest it into something that would get you double your return.
How about you just owe me a
Have
favor?
you ever heard of the
Favor.
self-stealing stem bolt market?
Damn, are you serious?
With that, we will cut ahead as the
Did anyone notice her bridge looks like a turtle? I'm sorry.
The yawn roars out of the atmosphere, thrusters shifting to impulse and rapidly gaining distance from dull red orb beneath them, one that has exacted such a high price from them as an unanticipated risk of this hive of scum and villainy. You leave this planet with 3 fewer crew members, 2 of whom you know to have died, indeed one at the hands of one of your own crew members.
Y'all don't know that. Y'all don't know that.
Only one does.
And I'm sure he would never say anything about that to anybody.
Would he?
Yeah, it would not be likely. So, but yes, in the meantime, your trip to Zeth'lor has been far more costly than you had expected, and yes, you're suffering greatly in this moment. After taking off to after breaking from the planet's gravity, Azek will find essentially, I would imagine, a relatively out of the way Lagrange point, effectively, something that will allow you a momentary time gap, or at least something that will allow you to remain in space in a place where nobody would be paying too much attention, or that it would seem like you were minding your own business, more or less. So, with that, there will be calls from there will be a call from the captain for everyone to meet up in the ship's mess hall. I will ask if anyone wants anything to happen before that, or if everybody is good to have their characters move into the mess and meet with the captain.
Is Crescent going to the mess hall and meeting with the captain?
You would be in a state to do well. You're at least physically in a state to do so. Mentally, I don't know how Kresik is doing at that point. I leave that judgment to you. But this is the first you are hearing that the captain is back, and given what you've undergone, you might feel he has something to answer for. So that's a judgment call. Would you like to be there?
I'd say at this point in time, he's probably still working through information gathering.
Copy that. No. Would you at least like Zionol present then?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know if he'll have anything to add, but he can at least be there.
Yep.
But Kresik is still gathering information.
Fair enough.
I'd like to cook if that's all right.
Okay. We can set you in a room off to the side, and let's see. Does anybody else have any thoughts on whether they would be there or not?
I'd probably be. Oh, yeah. I'm following orders. Azek would be there.
Copy that. So
Crocker is obviously there, but he's just... I don't know. I always imagine the captain puts him in like some Hannibal gear and just has him in person somewhere.
certainly. I figure that Tabak would have made clear that this is an all hands on deck situation. Would that be fair to say, Sean?
Damn it, I'm still on mute. Yes, most definitely. This is an all hands on deck, including all of the minor characters who are also crew members.
Yep. So Vopri is there, your surviving supporting characters are there, and of course, as many of the main cast as had opted to remain are present too. So, yeah, the crew assembles. I would say, Captain, that Traven, you might have seen him come in before, or he might have come in after you. He might. I'm willing to bet that as soon as the call came, he was probably already working in the galley by that point, and so which is
across the hall.
Yeah, so you could probably smell the scent of food being cooked, like at a point when the door was open or something like that. There'd be some indication. Yeah. So, but yeah, you arrive in the mess. You arrive in the mess hall. Steadily, the rest of the crew assembles. You notice that Kresik is absent, as is Woe, Bahan, and Dakoth. You may arrange yourselves in these seats as you so wish. Come on. You yielded the captain's chair, Joe.
No, I was going to sit on his lap.
Oh.
First notion of meeting. Azek out the airlock.
Tempting, but no.
All
Definitely
who
not.
say
Azek.
nay, walk into the airlock.
Take one step across the threshold into the airlock.
Yep. So, the crew has assembled. I can say, at least for the part of some, Kelshaw and Vopri, there is, for the former, the slightly more furrowing of the brow, or a mix of curiosity and perhaps slight frustration or anger. Vopri seems just a little less certain than usual, or rather a little more nervous than usual. Let me try that again. Vopri seems just a little more nervous than usual. And yeah, if anyone else wants to speak to the demeanor of their characters, I will let you say so.
Raldar's definitely not happy.
Zainal is relieved that the captain's back.
Crocker
Visibly.
is slowly inching towards the captain.
When he gets too close, Tabak will say, "That is enough. I have questions, and I know you do too. Where's Bahan?"
He died.
Okay.
Joe, you set his character death in motion. You made him the bad guy.
I know. My brain's drawing blank tonight. I'm sorry.
That's fair enough. But yeah, as far as you know,
To be fair, a whole year has passed.
it
Oh.
It was 2023 the last time we were playing this. Just
The
to,
year has
date
turned.
ourselves.
A year has not passed.
Yes, precision of language. So 2 notes. First, I will say, Cheesy, whenever you want Traven to show up in the scene, you can just drag your token in and announce it during a moment where nobody is saying anything, I'd say. If you want
I can
to
jump in like immediately, so that way everybody can be here.
Yep. So, let's see. So Traven will enter the room. let's cover the other note first. As far as you know, Azek, and indeed the rest of you, Kresik had reported that it seems Bahan had suffered.
He said Bahan was not going to make it.
Yes. The implication, I think, was that he had suffered some sort of injury, but did not make out exactly the nature of it. I think that the assumption was just he was, like, already in a bad way, and that Azek might have...
Yeah, he lied to Azek that Azek's punch had, like, damaged some vital Nausicaan organ.
Yes. So with that note, there are momentary uneasy looks among some of you as you were as you recall what happened, as far as you know, to the Nausicaan navigator. As you do that, Traven, you walk in. I suppose I should ask, what are you bringing plate-wise or drink-wise in?
I am bringing Breget Lung with grapok sauce, and I am serving bakgol as a drink.
Lap of luxury today.
Nice.
Celebratory, the captain's still alive meal.
Yup.
Excellent.
All right.
Not standing on ceremony. As soon as the food is on the table, Tabak will be grabbing some.
Indeed. But yes, who among you would like to try and answer the captain?
I wasn't present for that, so.
All right. Azek, I guess you were captain.
So, yeah. Azek's still kind of withdrawn. He's trying to make sure that he phrases things properly so he's not to step on Tabak's toes, because he's kind of nervous that he instantly went into command mode. And he's it kind of took a lot out of him, so he's kind of taken a step back emotionally. So that's why he's a little out of it. But what was the guy's name again?
Bahan.
Bahan.
Mm-hmm.
Bahan had to be gone because it seems that he was of no honor and sought to betray the ship, and most importantly, betray you. And so, after much investigation and diligence on the part of the crew, it was my decision to knock him down a few pegs and have the doc see to his severe wounds. Unfortunately, he succumbed to his wounds and is no longer in a position to betray you.
Traitor. See. And he was dealt with appropriately. Does he still have air in his lungs?
I gave him a knee and made sure that he didn't.
Good. Where's the doctor?
No, he did not join. He's still in the med bay gathering information.
Yeah. So the doctor refuses to join us. All right. I assume Dakov is in Stovokor now after our ambush.
Indeed.
And Woe has been stolen from us. Yes?
Yes, sir.
We tried to scan, Vopride tried to scan the planet for signals, but because of the security lockouts, we weren't able to pinpoint the...
Yes, my defensive measures hampered your search and rescue operation, I understand.
I do know something, sir.
Yes?
She was talking with a Gazenti before she was taken.
Another Kazin. Interesting.
Oh, that also brings up another point. I have a bounty on me now, Captain.
Really?
Yes.
Why for?
Because when you use the clone, Junior, on the Trial station, they traced his DNA back to me, so they put a bounty on me.
Interesting. Unexpected, but interesting.
Why do you sound like you're saying this around a cigar? Like just with a teacup in your hand? What is this? Why?
He's got the Klingon equivalent of it, like
Pretty
forks of
hardcore.
long- Yes.
Just steeping a tea bag up and down.
Just sitting there spinning 3 marbles in his hand.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we actually took one of them captive, one of the Creel, if I recall.
Mhm.
You didn't feed him to Dar, did you?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But that is the plan, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I approve. And now, you have questions. I know this. I could cut the tension in this room with my mek'leth.
How was your
I will-
vacation?
Vacation. Interesting. Funny. I didn't realize you were humorous. Kidnapped and tortured. Yes. If only within the bounds of my own mind.
No, elaborate.
At another date, I was taken, subjected to some interesting interrogation techniques. My sense of time for my disappearance is off. So how long was I gone?
Was it about a day or so?
Yeah,
Really?
about a day.
Only a single day. Interesting.
It is worth noting, particularly for anyone that grew up in Klingon culture or is particularly obsessive, Tabok's open admission of being taken captive would, in some circles, be considered an exceptional mark of dishonor.
Yeah,
Yep.
most definitely.
Good thing you fought your way out, right, Captain?
Yes.
Mhm. Must have been a glorious fight.
Oh, very. The sarcasm is like, I don't know how Klingons can do sarcasm, but I don't know how to. Yeah, it's like slathered on there like 2 inches of peanut butter.
Martok did sarcasm. You can do sarcasm.
Yes, but I'm talking. He was doing sarcasm in English. I don't know how
True.
Klingon sarcasm works in Klingon. But yeah,
I imagine it's extra guttural.
probably. It's not like they can move their eyebrows up and down for expressions.
You're a Kohak. You have more eyebrow control.
That's true. I do have eyebrows. I forgot about that for a moment. You have questions. I will take them one at a time.
As it hands him a note that says question. That's all it says. Welcome back, Captain. You were missed.
He just drops the note to the table and sighs. Anyone else? Raldar? The anger is rolling off of you, my scaly friend.
Yes. It's so nice to be locked out of every single system on the ship while you're missing.
Yes.
Not to mention,
nice to
Kelshaw interjects, not to mention the fact that we were stuck on the ground and defenseless when we were apparently coming under attack from numerous others.
There were reasons for those particular safety protocols. They were installed shortly after the ship went spaceborne, and shortly after I became captain. I wasn't sure what kind of crew I was going to have. I couldn't be guaranteed their loyalty. Couldn't be guaranteed they wouldn't stab me in the back, literally or figuratively. And I wasn't sure they wouldn't throw me out an airlock and take the ship. That would have been that. Those protocols are in place as my final revenge. Technically, not quite my final revenge.
I don't want to have to do a lot of searching after that word phrasing.
You can try. You can try.
Oh, I will.
You only had a day. You didn't find. I know you didn't find about 75% of what I installed.
And I will have time to look through it now.
Kalsha, have you any questions?
Would I be correct to presume, then, she says, that you continue to have doubts about the nature of your crew? And
I no longer have doubts.
So then will the interlocks remain in place?
That will be an arduous process to remove all of the safety interlocks. Keying the interlocks will change.
At least disable the ones on the sensors and transporters so we can rescue you next time if it comes to it.
Zainal, have you questions?
How do we leverage this?
I beg your pardon?
Well, we have what? 2 wanted, dangerous criminals on this ship now? How do we leverage this? How do we take advantage of what this provides us?
Zainal, I just said that my doubts of my crew were removed. Please don't give them back to me.
Captain, I must say, and I think there are several on this crew that could agree, I was foremost in wanting to get you back. Believe me when I say I am not interested in upsetting any power dynamics here. I just feel like if half the quadrant is going to be after us, we should at least get something back for it.
I don't think Creel bounties apply to Klingon law.
Definitely not. Traven, have you questions?
Well, first one, since it is a tedious process to get rid of all those security lock things, why don't we give the same access that you have to the head officers? So that way, if you do get kidnapped, the head officers can use the ship to get you back. Because I'm going to assume this isn't going to be the first time you're going to be kidnapped. You're popular now.
You bring up an exceptionally good point, Traven. I am the captain. I need a first officer. And as the first officer in any Klingon ship, serves the captain, but represents the crew, you will elect your first officer.
Oh, right.
I was going to say just after
Even Tabog laughs at that one.
immediately before, immediately after the captain mentions that, the door opens, and lumbering through comes the ship's doctor.
Pressic, thank you for joining.
Captain, it is good to have you back.
I just want to make a small comment that sounds like he's trying those words out for the first time.
I was thinking
I
the exact same thing.
appreciate that the lockdown did not affect my sick bay, my medical facilities.
I'm gonna stand up out of my chair and offer it to the doctor.
Okay, so I'm gonna have seated next to me the Klingon who loves me to death and the Gorn who really wouldn't care about murdering me right now. Okay.
It's a healthy balance.
Loves you to death and then loves to see you die.
I am literally caught between a rock and a hard place.
Oh, is that what we're calling me now?
How hard?
This is all going to get edited out.
Nope, stays in.
No, it won't.
Stays right in.
No, the innuendo has to stay in. I know what
Not
our
in my
audience is
endo.
about.
Not in my endo. Kresic, have you questions for me?
No. I have information.
Please share it. You know, I say it that way in English, realizing that Klingon does not have the word for please.
Right.
Some people really stuck their neck out for that information.
Oh,
There
God.
was...
I wish I could figure out what he's hinting at something. When he says that, there's gonna be a tone to when Traven says that. Is there any way to pick up on whether or not there's a subtle undertone to what he just said?
Insight check that motherfucker!
That would be an insight and command roll, yes.
Okay.
I am going to set the difficulty to... I'm going to set it to 3 to max out.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
But I'll...
No, never mind. I didn't get it. Missed it entirely. Damn it.
Right over your head.
Yeah. Let's see. Sorry, just gonna bend this down a little bit.
Because I know, but Tabak not so much.
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
I just
double zeros. Not again.
Yeah. I just need one moment to fix this because the roll screen is it's currently just looking a little weird. I just need to make sure that the audience can properly see that.
Am I good to info dump while you're doing this, or?
I will just say, Tabak, yeah, you take no notice, and Kresic, you may go ahead.
Okay, just want to make sure that you weren't like having to pause the stream or anything.
Yeah.
I was delayed because the Bahan, I did not know how long I would be able to extract information from his failing body. But it appears there are several... Sorry, my mouse is failing me. Give me a second. There are several, at least 4 separate parties that he was in contact with through... and he pulls out his data pad where he has some information written down. through a HeDaj trawler. Some sort of Orion communications system.
I'm familiar with it.
You have been one of the targets. Woe, Raldar, the ship. He spread that information to anyone interested to buy it. And now it's out there.
Who is responsible for the bounties?
Can I do a roll so I can get some obtain information spends, Mr. GM? Mr. GM.
Mr. GM?
Zachary.
Apologies, the mic was giving me some trouble at the moment.
Oh, good.
Yes, you may indeed attempt to work that back. I would go so far as to say this would probably be... I would give it one of two roles. So if you are attempting to do essentially the computer forensic element work here, it would probably be reason and engineering to try and work this back. If you were trying to gain some insight in perhaps the nature of the postings and whom might have done similar things in the past, then well, that would essentially be more insight plus security. So I will give you the choice.
What I was trying to do is retroactively do a roll of the interrogation to give me more information spins that I could give.
Oh, I see. So let's call this then, given the more well, let's see. I will say either presence plus security, since you were going a bit for intimidation. It could also be presence plus medicine, since you are repeatedly using that. But I like security more, and I would give you one of your focuses, like the emergent... I think Krisic has an emergency medicine focus or something.
He does.
Yep. So
presence and security?
I believe that would be the most apt in this case.
And what would be the difficulty?
You know, rather than contest this, you are essentially trying to create an advantage in terms of getting this information out of Bahand. Like, he's retroactively deceased, so you're just kind of building up momentum and trying to get this information. So I will set it to a difficulty of 2.
Okay, here we go. Let's see if I found out any information. I did not get that information.
Oh, the dice roller is not on our side tonight.
It's okay. This is probably the first actually bad dice roll I've had as Kresic, so I will accept this.
Well, it's not like we have any momentum to use.
Also true. We're kind of in a bad spot.
Indeed, that is unfortunately...
So from that information, I'm kind of guessing that either I didn't get the information or he didn't even know who he was selling it to. Would that be correct?
The most adequate way to describe what you picked up with the interrogation is that he doesn't really have a sense of who is responsible for it, or whom he sold the information to. Sorry, give me just one moment here. I'm trying to fix the... I need to just fix our roll channel, because for whatever reason it is just not fitting well. I'm trying to keep this as live and up to date as possible. My apologies to you, chat, the viewing audience, who might be catching us live here. Today is, well, some of this might just be this is our first time working live with the, with a dual monitor setup, so I catch these a little faster. But I think, okay, that is almost where we need it. Let me just... Okay, that should work now. All right. So, getting back to it. The gist of what you learned through the process, Kresic, was that by the time Bahan's mind had finally started cracking sufficiently for your purposes, what you had learned is that he just found the postings on the communications network, and that enough of it matched up that he thought he might get something for selling it, so he started distributing the info. He even started offering things about different members of the crew. You'd probably find that while he didn't put anything out about you, he might have also put things out about some of the other crew members just to see if there was interest. Like, there might have been a trial with Azek or a mention of Traven.
Because that would have been my other question, is if my name ever got out there.
Yeah.
That, honestly, that would have been, after finding out where Woe might have gone to, that would have been my second focus before getting any more information.
Yeah. There was nothing that came out regarding you specifically, but it seems as though he did test it out with a couple other members of the crew. To no avail as far as he could tell, but he did get some reply contacts. The nature of the network that he was using, the HeDaj Chalor, at least as one of its names is known by, the nature of the network makes it relatively anonymous, so you don't properly know. He certainly didn't.
He did not know and did not care. He only sought what would make him more money.
I will ask you the same question I asked. Does he still have air in his lungs?
He succumbed to his wounds that were inflicted by the hands of this crew.
Good. Dispose of the corpse, however you see fit. I hear Dar is hungry.
Nausicaan flesh is distasteful.
I wasn't suggesting that you eat it. Was there any other information you had?
That is all that I was able to extract from Bahan.
Good. I may have a source that I can follow up with. Now, I had just presented to the crew an opportunity before you walked in. My safety interlocks were reasonable to me when I installed them, to avoid a situation
to keep us from killing you.
No. I didn't trust you. I didn't know you. I didn't know what to expect from my crew.
Good.
I do now. But removing my countermeasures will ground the ship for at least a month. And we cannot afford that. So the key instance is going to be changed. My crew needs a first officer. And as I said, I don't know how familiar you are with Klingon ships. In a Klingon ship, the first officer serves the ship and serves the captain, but represents the crew. And so I have given them the chance to select their first officer. As a member of this crew, you have a say in this as well.
Hmm.
And if you wish it, I will leave the room so you may debate. Technically, Dar would have a say as well, but I do not think Dar could comprehend what is happening.
Understandable.
We have determined is Dar tiny?
What?
Dar, Tiny, Junior. Yes,
Junior?
that's
Okay.
that's. He has three different names that are
When
sort
did
of.
we start calling him Tiny?
I'm pretty sure that wasn't a thing.
It is now, but you know.
It is now.
Stop trying to make tiny happen. Stop. Tiny happen.
Oh, look, he likes you. Oh, Tiny straight.
Fetch. I'm editing that so it's just the fetch in response.
So, yes, I will. If you need it, I will leave the room to allow your debate. And so he gets up, grabs his mug, takes a step away from the chair, looks back at the big gigantic plate of Breguet lung, takes another giant handful, couple of chunks, throws them in a bowl, and leaves the room to allow them to discuss who will be their representative in the chain of command.
Speaking
After
of
another.
food, I totally forgot. I did get some Zilmcock for Vopri. It's a fruit.
Some what kind of? Well, some doing what now?
Zilmcock.
Okay.
It's a Klingon fruit.
Uh huh. Sure.
No,
Say it again?
no. The Klingon fruit right now is never mind.
Yeah, it's Croaker.
Croaker, he is the Klingon fruit. No, sorry.
Oh my god.
Tabak corrects a joke and leaves the room. And Vopri
Quickly.
has most assuredly had a vegetarian option this whole time. He would not have complained, but he would not have eaten it otherwise, just because of the circumstances.
Did someone highlight Croaker when you said that? What happened? I just noticed something.
No, I just moved Traven over, and I probably
Oh,
had the mouse. So, I gave him the vacant seat. I don't
New
know
captain.
if Traven would have taken the seat, but yeah.
Traven, what's in the cup in front of me?
It is Bakol. It's a tea.
Tea. Okay.
Is it that poisonous tea?
No, it's a good tea.
Okay.
After the requisite number of seconds have passed, Kresik gets up. Who this second is makes no difference to me. I have work to do. I will be in my medical facility. And
Actually did help. We now have 7 votes.
An odd number. Perfect.
I continue to vote for Vopri.
I am not situated for a command role. I prefer to be. Is it not, well...
All right.
Vopri just kind of struggles because he's... I will say for his part, he is looking back and forth.
All right, I'll say it. Traven is not a bad choice for the position.
I'm sorry, what?
It's first officer. If you think you can handle the command.
I'm like one of the newest crew members.
Yeah, but you have the spirit of a Klingon. You don't seem to be the one to betray the captain.
And you're very good at staying alive, despite constant death.
That is thanks to our wonderful doctor, who also contributes to my death.
Yes. He too has the heart of a Klingon.
And if you need to fulfill your service of killing the captain, you can easily poison him. As dishonorable as it may be.
Wait a minute. Who just said that? Was that Waldar said that?
Wow, all that
Wow.
shit like that
Wow.
all the time. It's finally
Wow.
turned towards you.
It's not dishonorable when it's against our enemies, but when it's against our allies.
He literally said I needed to be put down the other day. Shut up.
Stop giving Zynol ideas.
For real though.
Cyanol has already figured out 15 different ways to kill every single person on this ship.
If he were motivated.
Tell me I'm wrong.
If he were motivated. He's too lazy to do that.
That he can't bear a grudge towards any of you because he is still too angry at the other Klingon crew that destroyed his barrel of silk.
Mytholian silks.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Disintegrated right before his eyes.
Our other options would either be myself or Azik.
Excuse me, I am sitting right here.
Who said that?
Croker, unfortunately, I feel like you would let your emotions get in the way a lot.
Who said I'm emotional? Who just spoke? He holds the knife up in the air, pointing at everybody.
It was me. It was me.
You're okay then. And he sits back down and speeds his blade. I do feel like Croker wouldn't be the worst choice though, because he's still the highest body count. He's
Well.
still pretty competent, despite his not marriage to the captain.
Despite his, yeah.
For
Sorry.
for those of
Sorry,
you, you go ahead there, Raldar.
Sorry, Troter, but you have to be in service to the crew over the captain.
Oh, over the captain, you say? I didn't hear anything else.
You have to be in service to the crew, not just the captain.
Servicing the captain.
My point. All right, that's enough of that. DM.
Okay, but someone just showed me their command sheet. I am now seconding Traven for command.
I mean, I certainly don't want it, first of all. So, in case anybody was thinking about nominating little old me, I would respectfully decline. But I think that it should be somebody who has been with the captain the longest, no? And who would those be?
Me and Azik.
That would make the most sense, would it not? You formed the basis of his crew, and now you represent them to him.
Zynol for... Oh, sorry. Zynol for someone who is very self-serving, you'd think you go with the two people that have served you most.
Efficiency breeds wealth.
Yes.
And the most efficient choice would be going with your either business partner or potential lover.
And since I have neither of those aboard this ship,
You son of
I
a
have
bitch!
to go with the third option, which is what would keep this ship running the smoothest.
I will say I feel 10% less safe when Raldar's not in the engine room.
Only 10?
Yeah.
Do you feel less safe because he's not tending the engines, or because he
Yeah.
reminds you of the lizard that killed you?
Oh no, I think I'm past that now. No, I
Okay.
need the engines running, because if the engine's not
I
running,
see.
we're not running, and then we die.
As in the first officer needs to stick by the captain.
We do have to hand it, though, to Azek for his commendable service in the captain's 1 day of absence. Do we not?
None of us killed each other.
Sure, that was very good.
It wasn't. I feel like pretty sure someone did kill someone else. At least 2 people. Didn't 2 people die in the ship?
No.
Only one.
Yes, and he died because of our then captain. Azek has proven himself a strong warrior. And he did hold the crew together.
That and he's just trying to be nearer to the captain's chair. Let's just give it to the man.
Ambition is important for forward progress, after all.
All right.
That and none of us want it other than him.
Azek, do you have thoughts on the... Would command be something that you want?
I have been thinking this over a lot since being captain. Temporary, as it were. I know there is much that I have yet to learn about command and what it takes to have that role. But it would definitely be an honor to take that lead should the opportunity arise. But I do not think it's honorable for me to vote myself into that position. That would be self-serving and not respectful of the crew. That would potentially serve me. So that decision's up to you. If you choose somebody else, great. I definitely support what the majority of the crew does, but as far as putting my hat into the ring for me, I'd have to decline. I'd have to not decline the offer, but decline from the vote.
Over the
You do
intercom.
not vote for yourself. Whom do you vote for? And also, Kelshaw, you have been awfully quiet during this entire conversation.
Before I give voice to Kelshaw here, if you wanted to have something over the intercom, Rev.
Yeah. Over the intercom. The ship-wide intercom, because that's the only one that Kresik uses.
Yep.
It's the biggest button.
Yes, exactly. It's the one that's easiest to use for his big Gorn hands. If there is a tie, Vopri will be a good second in command. Kresik has to go.
Croker has voted for 3 people so far. Pick one. God damn.
Well, let me... so before I give voice to Kelshaw on this, let me ask... perhaps once she says something and any immediate comments come to mind, would you guys like a scene break to maybe also discuss this, like, in the Discord? And, because I know Tabak, I think, had at least one other scene in mind, or someone that he wanted to talk to, and it could be an opportunity for opportunity to work some of that out, or at least mull that over. How would you guys feel about that?
That sounds good.
Kelshaw. Okay, Kelshaw will look amongst the crew as Croker gives her the prod to come in on this. I must say I've just presumed this whole time that it was Raldar who was in command, second in command, and frankly that arrangement has worked. While certainly he's not present on the bridge during a combat situation, he is where he needs to be, and well, small as the ship is, I'd say that we've been effective, or perhaps lucky enough. There's a bit of disdain that drips from that last word as she undoubtedly ponders Dekalth's fate. Suffice to say, if we are looking for a first officer that has their place on the bridge, then I am more confident with somebody who properly knows what they're doing, who has demonstrated the test of their battle. I do not mean to deliver insults to our cook, but I do not believe I would trust them to take command of this ship if the worst were to happen. If we are to change from Raldar, then the one who has demonstrated themselves otherwise as a capable warrior and officer, and most importantly leader, would be Ezek.
Well said.
It's a hell of an endorsement.
Well, this process is this process is a deeply puzzling one. I have never been in a position to choose an officer before in this sort any sense.
Do you two vote for Azek?
I weigh it out carefully. Ezek is definitely a good commander, and as benevolent as I have seen here, but I do not mean to take away from Raldar and in his role, and I do also believe Traven is does have a voice with the captain. He does have his ear. I do not know. More deliberation may be required. And would any among you have other things to say on the matter right now? If not, well, yeah.
I got nothing.
Okay. How about we make that scene break right now, and would one of you be willing to say something to the effect of, the deliberation must continue, or like we must, we need, before we leave this room, we got to figure out who the XO is, or something like that.
None of us leave here alive until we have this query pondered out.
Good enough. I'll use that.
Good enough. Thanks, GM.
Yeah. Anyway, so you continue to ponder the difficult command decision, and if you guys want to message back and forth in the Discord, go right ahead. Sean, would you like the scene with that one contact you had we talked about it? Okay.
Yep.
So,
yep.
As
I go to my, sorry,
go ahead. No. Go ahead.
I go to my quarters, drink and food in hand, lock the door. And sit down behind my desk. Heavy sigh. Go. Computer. I need a clear channel. I start punching buttons to blank out the channel so nobody else on board the ship can access it as I'm speaking on it.
Okay. You key in a few requests. The computer beeps an acknowledgement. And it manages to secure a line. I presume that you've keyed in the particular code into the DIchHa in order to reach out.
Directly, I'm looking for the direct line to Bostock.
All right. So, you input the communication info that you have on him, hoping that it's still up to date. There's a bit of a delay as it processes, but the secure line registers on the other end, and on the screen of your desktop computer system, the face of that old balding gray Orion appears. Ah, Taybok! You're alive! This is great! Good to see you, friend.
Very much I am alive. I have a request, old friend.
Oh, you have a request? Oh, are we getting another deal? Do you have more cats ready? Hey, good on the market. Good pets.
Last I had heard, we had not reached the numbers we had arranged. Soon, they breed quickly.
Oh, good. Good pet. Never sell for food. Never.
Exactly.
Yes.
And if they were suddenly to end up as gourmet items on a restaurant somewhere, anywhere within the Klingon Empire, that would be horrific, and I'm sure you would simply die of shame.
Oh, yes, absolutely, he taps his chest. The cat's near to my heart. Many a wound they give me. Determined creatures. Honorable
Very
creatures.
much.
Warrior creatures, like Klingons.
Yes. Speaking of Klingons, I need you to do a little digging for me.
Information we're trading now. Oh,
Yes.
Information cost great deal money. Not easy.
You will get what you get as usual. We're not renegotiating.
Oh.
Not now, we're not. Maybe later.
Name your target.
There is apparently, on the network here, a price on my head, and on several members of my crew, and on my ship.
Oh. So, someone putting bounties out on Taybok. Who'd have thought?
Mm-hmm. Who? That is the question indeed. Who would have thought?
I don't know. I never do that. Taybok, near and dear friend. Taybok, honorable partner. Taybok, make good money.
And if you wish that money to continue, if you wish for that monetary stream to continue to accrue in your accounts, you will find out who put these orders out. Yes? Old friend?
He sits back and thinks about it. I see what I can do. I reach out to partners and contacts where I can. Difficult time it may take, and especially to do it quietly. Only way to do it. But I will... I come through. I come through for the cats. And as I get more information, we talk more. I get what I get for now, but on the back end, as he rubs his fingers together, expect compensation. I do.
As you should. I am asking you to do something dangerous.
Yes. Performing
you will be appropriately compensated. No matter the outcome. That is a less than subtle threat.
Not sure I like that, but we see what we can do. Tell me, Taybuck, old friend, have you any more to trade, any more interest?
Have a small supply of dilithium.
Already getting decent deals out of Penthe Belt right now. No. We talk later. We work this out. You see what you can find. Acquire the Darsex or other credits. You ever find yourself on the other end of your border, then maybe we find even more lucrative business.
As you wish. I will continue to accrue what I am going to continue to accrue. The cats continue breeding apace. And if you're lucky, there will be extra in the next shipment that I have prepared for you.
Extra. What I like to hear. He'll wave his index finger pointed out. Yes, we'll get to work. And we'll talk to you later, Taybuck. Unless more you have to tell, valuable chatter you have.
Not at the moment.
I find out then. I run around. Been a little while since I visited Kronos too. I maybe planned a trip there. Yes.
Don't catch any bugs.
And with that, he's going to tap out the line and disappear.
Yep.
So, yes, that will be it for your old friend Bostock for now. But you have the certainty that for as dodgy as some dealings can be, and certainly he has a vibe, let's say. He also has a track record, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, he is reliable. Sneaky, but reliable.
Yep. I do like the idea that a little ways after you relax, the the ship-wide intercom plays with Kresic offering the input, suggesting Vopra is a first officer candidate.
And at that, Balok's eyes widen, almost Gowron-like.
More Taybuck's eyes.
Isn't that what I said?
You said Balok.
You said Balok.
Sorry.
Clint Howard's other role.
So Taybuck's eyes widen almost Gowron-like as he stares at the speaker patch on the desk, thinking to himself, what have I done?
What have I done? I shouldn't have given them the right to vote.
Now, first off, you know that's one of the best choices. Shut up. It could have been quicker.
Now, very quickly, let me ask. So I figure we can do one of three things here. First would be to go back into the... go immediately back to the voting thing if the players feel like they have a good enough sense of what they want to do. We could go elsewhere around the ship, particularly in the case if, Rev, you have anything that you want to do with Kresic. Or, option 3, if everybody feels like they need it, we could take a bio break here. How does everybody feel about those options?
I don't have to go potty.
I don't either.
Okay. Well, let me put the question to you, Rev. Would you want anything to do with Kresic for now, or are you good without a scene at present?
I'm good. We can go to the finale of the votes. I mean, he's just wallowing away in his sick bay cleaning up.
Copy that.
I don't think anybody wants to see that.
How dare you? I want to see that.
Yeah, but the character that would make the most sense to visit him would be is Woe, and she is not on the ship right now, which is great for Kresic's mental health.
Oh, so good. So
Kresik
good.
lost his only friend.
Oh, good.
He still has a plan.
He does.
That's the plan.
He's
Okay.
testing to see if it likes Nausea can meet.
Yep. Well, we definitely don't want to see that. So let us go back then with Tabok settling in and contemplating the fact that he may wind up with a Rantal as a first officer. Perish the thought. Let us cut back to the mess hall, where deliberation has continued, and however contentious things might have gotten, the options seem to have been fairly clearly laid out, and the crew is in the final stages of their discussion. Would you guys want to talk a little more in character, or would you just like to say that you are all ready to take the vote?
I'm good to take the vote.
I want it to be so dramatic, but I can't think of a way other than just beating you guys up. So
Other than Azik just standing over the combined dead bodies of the other crew members saying,
pretty
"It's gonna
much.
be me."
Yeah.
So what? So what? We do a fist fight to decide? You know?
Come back. There's blood everywhere.
A one-armed fist fight ensues. The door opens. Vopry walks away.
Yep.
I'm first officer by default.
We'll break it in the corner and let everybody else kill each other.
Yep.
Well, guess I'm first officer now.
By default of all the rest of them being lousy at it.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
All right, here's what we do. We have all you guys lay down on the floor, and we'll call Tabak back in, and Azik will be standing over it, and I'll take some blood wine, put it on my fist, so it looks like there's a nasty bloody fight happened, and yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Just for giggles.
Why would we? What?
Let's
Traven,
go
are
with
you going
it.
to do this?
Crooker is already laying across Traven.
I know we
Traven.
just refreshed our blood wine supplies, but I don't think we should waste them.
Traven, tell me you're not going to go along with this, right, Traven?
I do not waste food or drink.
Rude.
I don't want to be in a pile with the rest of the crew.
Wow. You've changed, Vopry.
Much as I didn't expect myself to say as such, Kalsha interjects, I would rather find that distasteful too. Let us simply cast this vote and be done with it.
He sounds a little pissed.
She's kind of a lot pissed.
Understand.
This is what happens when you don't feed and water your NPCs.
We didn't keep up the the affection meter.
Yep. There's a little pop up on the left hand side. Kelshaw disapproves.
No, it's the thought bubble with like just the scribbles to indicate angry because the GM is thoroughly Stardew Valley pilled at this point.
Oh my god. Stardew Valley pill. Huh?
Yep. Anyway. I'll tell you what, I will let you guys go as follows. So obviously the character you control in the scene, you can have them cast their vote as you wish. In Kelshaw's case, as a supporting character, technically one of you could have input there if you so wanted to. Alternatively, if you want to treat her and Vopri for that matter as NPCs in this circumstance, then we could have like some sort of persuasion check if you prefer. I think both of them would be happy with whichever candidate winds up leading, so I would leave that up to you guys.
I just feel like, from what I know of the characters, Kelshaw would vote for Raldar and Vopri would vote for Azek. Because like Azek's the only one that's really been super nice to Vopri. Like everyone's kind to Vopri, but Azek's been like super nice to Vopri.
Yes, I think that's accurate.
Zionel's voting for Azek. He's more easily controllable. I mean, a better candidate. And he's Klingon, which will go wonders toward the fact that they're in Klingon space if the captain and the first officer are both Klingon.
Okay. So, would others have ways they want to voice their votes here?
Krokerstan looks to Azek. I place my vote in your favor. However, my companion, and Betty pops out. I vote for the sweet little cook boy, the little chef. He knows what he's doing.
I didn't realize Betty got a vote.
Excuse me, I am part of this crew.
I'm not there.
I don't care. I can hear your thoughts.
If we're going to have a meta-side conversation, God damn it, it's going to be a meta-side conversation.
Yeah. Yes, because I can actually get inside the ship, sweetheart.
Betty is actually in the Roll20 engine. She can speak through Discord and through time.
We are doomed.
Yeah, the character wasn't so much Ray's creation as someone that found both Ray and I whilst we were talking about a completely different matter.
Are you
I don't even remember how she got made.
Are you supposed to be sharing this information with us? Doesn't this put us all in danger now?
Now we share the danger. Now the pressure is off. I feel so
that means there's less threat per individual person.
Oh no.
The threat pool has diminished because now it's a person.
Listen. If we
Target identified.
If we all donate just a little bit of our liver to the Eagles every day, we can all have fire. Okay? It's okay.
Anyways.
Wait, did you say leverage or liver?
Livers to the Eagle.
Okay. Same day, different Eagles.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mr. GM. We just derailed everything. I think I was right both times.
Yes. Let's see. So, Zionel, Croker, and Vopri have cast votes for Azek. Kelshaw has cast a vote for Raldar and Traven. I guess it would come to you next.
I'm gonna say it. Y'all aren't giving my boy enough credit. I'm voting Vopri.
A wise choice.
He has the best diet, so he's gonna outlive all of us.
That's a very human. That's a very human-centric appraisal.
I was gonna say, I think you need to go back to science school because there are at least 2 characters here that, provided they don't get killed gloriously, will outlive everybody.
I'm sorry. In Trill School, one of our topics wasn't giant space lizards.
It should have been. I'm just saying. Anyways, who's left? Raldar.
I will vote for Azek.
Just leave Azek.
I have to abstain.
All right.
Do you find that none of us worthy?
All of you are worthy, to be honest.
Wow. Like a parent trying to pick their favorite child.
Oh, I don't have a favorite. Bullshit.
We can find out.
Trophies all the way around, guys. We're all winners today.
Okay, well, do you guys know what this means here?
Means Azek has more work to do now. And no pay increase.
Indeed. But,
When he's closer to that captain's chair.
the votes have been tallied. Azek Korg wins the New Hampshire primary.
Give the man a hand. Oh, wait, sorry.
Oh.
That could not be helped. I
You
stand
did
by
that
that
on
one
purpose.
1,000%.
Yep. It was the gaffe that ended Tabok's campaign.
Oh no.
Yeah.
This is what I get for joining third parties.
Yeah, you threw your vote away on Vopri.
Vopri deserves the world, but not Grethor Vopri. That needs to be burned.
It was pretty terrible.
I left my name off the ballot. The write-in campaign was unsuccessful.
Did anyone else vote for Jedis this time?
I voted Decepticons.
I voted for Cthulhu because I will not settle for the lesser evil.
Well, anyway, that's enough of us trying to be topical.
They make a cream for that.
Blech.
Oh,
Sorry. I am so sorry.
no, you're not.
You are right, I'm not.
But you will be.
I already am.
All right. So, yeah, with that, Azek, the majority of the crew have decided that you will be their voice to the captain, as well as their second in command. Your decisive leadership and display of skill. Cue a moment where you clipped another ship and crashed the ship in another instance. Your decisive displays of skill have done enough to inspire the others to consider you as the officer they would have represent them to Tabok.
There really was no better option.
Such is the world we live in.
All right, should we call the captain back in?
Yes.
Vopri will quickly get up and get up from his post and whoop. We've already seen those election results. We don't need
You
them
won
back.
again? Not the swinging chads. Recount the ballot.
I thought that everyone was better at punching the chads.
You know, I don't need the insults to Florida right there, okay? I didn't design the damn ballot in 2000.
It's quite all right. Anyway, Vopri presses the ship-wide intercom in contrast to the doctor with much smaller hands. Decision has been rendered, Captain. Please report.
I will be there momentarily.
Okay. Doctor.
And so,
Yep. Well, his hand is still on there. Doctor, if you wish to join as well.
He'll come back.
Yep.
He'll come back. He'll probably end up meeting the captain along the way back.
yeah, I think we both go through the same volume of space within the ship to get there. Yeah. So we sort of both walk in at the same time.
Yep. So a few moments pass. Tabak and Kresik both enter, squeezing through the door. However, you order that.
Kresik will go in first. Sorry.
Yep.
Two tons of scaly meat will have right of way in the hallway.
Indeed.
Okay, 1 ton. But whatever.
Okay. So,
I'll just stand in the corner, make sure there's a spot for the captain to sit.
Yep.
And if anybody's sitting in my seat, I just push them out of my seat.
Draven sitting in your seat.
With no ceremony. If he's still sitting there by the time I get to the chair, I just push him.
The minute Kresik walks in, I actually grab a plate and put food on it and give it to him.
Okay,
Yeah,
we need to work on some things with you.
Yeah, we don't need the Gorn to be hangry.
Actually, Croker is going to start misinterpreting this as Kresik is Draven's love interest. That's how I'm gonna
Of course
do
he
that.
will.
Of course I
Croker will
will.
misinterpret everything. Anyways.
He's got hard eyes.
He gave food to everyone.
Yeah, but he did it special for Kresik.
Because we don't have enough chairs.
No, there was special intent.
No, that man keeps me alive.
That man is his life. Moving on. You have a result?
Indeed. We have chosen to elect Azik as the first officer.
A wise choice. An experienced combat officer. I approve. This is odd, I know. Most ships don't hold elections. This is not an Imperial Klingon ship. This is my ship. And we run things very differently here. We are still Klingons. We still have our, well, some of us are still Klingons, but we live within the Empire, and we have our honor. Thank you for doing this. Azik, you will come with me to my quarters for a moment. We have things to discuss.
Yeah, sure.
Captain Vopry actually raises his arm and he looks almost like he instantly regrets at the moment that he does so.
Yes, Vopry.
I had a question from earlier, and I did not get to ask it.
Apologies, Vopry. You are a valued member of the crew. You obviously get to ask your question. Speak.
Doing his best to maintain composure and trying to sit up just a little bit straighter. If you do not have the answer to this now, I will understand if you and Azik need to speak on this, but where do we go now, Captain? Zeth'lor is no longer safe for us. There are people hunting some of our crew, Creel, Klingons. The fact that Woe too has been taken, and we know not where, only by some Kazinti. Is Imperial space even safe for us? Where will we find refuge? What course do we take next?
Home. My home.
Okay.
We will go to my world. Coordinates are already set. I need to check on my family anyway.
Can I get a cat?
Possibly. If
That's
Cheshire
your
will.
preference.
If Cheshire does not have an issue with that.
Fair enough. I'll take the chance.
Kresic was almost going to interject. And so he kind of stirs for a second, but as soon as Tabok says that he needs to check on his family, Kresic settles back down into his corner and continues to eat the food that was provided for him.
Croker is a little lost looking, but I'm not going to make any comment about it. Other than the comment I just made.
Okay. Well, with all of that said, before Tabok and Azek leave, did anybody else have a parting thought?
We are getting Woe back, though.
We will. But I need to check on my family, and I have put feelers out for more information. Can't just go running about space.
I understand.
My contact is reliable. And the sooner we find out who put those bounties on us, the sooner we can find out where Woe is. And we will get her back. She's a member of my crew. And she will not be abandoned.
Good.
If that is all, I am very tired and will go to my quarters.
All right. Well, actually, at this point, let me ask: did anybody else have scenes that? Hold on one moment. Excuse me. Did anybody else have scenes that they wanted to do this evening?
Do we want to do a feeding the prisoner to Dar scene?
I think we could.
Don't we need to get information from him first?
Exactly.
You can get information and feed him to the Dar at the same time.
I feel like the gory discretion shot might be one way to go about that, or that might be something to figure out between games here.
No. You see, it's simple. We just we interrogate him outside the door, and if he refuses, we open the door and show him Dar.
And then even after he answers, you open the door and you shove him in.
Yeah. Well, if I
You
guess
just don't tell him you're going to do that.
I guess if nobody else has any preference, well, let me ask. Otherwise, would anybody have other scenes they want to do? At
I think I'm okay.
Okay. Then I actually think on the note we leave it off there, I think that would be a good place to call it. So.
All right.
Yay.
All right. And that is where we will cap off for this evening. So, for those of you in the recording, this is where we will leave off. We hope you had a good rest of your a good day, that you enjoyed the stream. If you want to keep following more on these Star Trek adventures, you can check us out. For those of you in the archive, the description of the of any links, both for shoutouts past here, as well as for social media, Twitch, anything of that sort, that is all in the description there. For those of you joining us live on Twitch, There is a full set of those. Just type in the proper commands, so archives for the YouTube, socials for the Blue Sky and Mastodon. We may be coming back next week. I'd just say keep track of that information on any of those posts, and if we do, we will come back next week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. But we'll keep you guys all posted on that. Until then, hapla. We'll see you around.